quite a while back now, I made a video where I flipped through this whole sketchbook that I finished, and I wanted to give you a tour of the whole thing before I moved on to my newest sketchbook. This is my current sketchbook. As you can see, it's the exact same brand as this one, just with a different cover. Something I thought that would be really fun to do is I actually have 5 of these. ELO sketchbooks have been my sketchbook of choice for a very long time, and I've been going through quite a few of them. Again, sketchbook number 5 right here. So what I thought would be interesting to do is go back to the very first one, which is at the bottom of this pile here, and take a little tour through it and look through what's in here, because frankly, I have been using these since before college. So I'm a senior in college now, and this one here at the bottom, sketchbook number 1, which I'm trying desperately to pull out and not drop, this one I actually did before I started going to college, so this has high school art in it, and I haven't looked through this thing in years, so I don't even remember what's fully in here. I can see there's some My Hero stuff on the back. This is not my art. This was art that I found from another artist and I printed and put on the back. Don't know who it is, unfortunately, can't give credit, but I thought it would be fun to take a trip down memory lane and look through this sketchbook, see everything that's in here, just give you a little tour of my really old art that I was doing before YouTube. This sketchbook is all over my TikTok because I've been doing TikTok since I was like 14. So if you want to see super ancient stuff, you can go over to my TikTok, and you can probably get a little bit of a spoiler if you go over there now, because you'll be seeing this sketchbook there, including me painting this sketchbook cover. Because I hand painted this, and I used to do that for all of them. This one is the first sketchbook where I didn't hand paint the cover. I digitally did it and then printed it on a sticker. But the point of this video is to go through the old sketchbook with my pre-college art. So I thought that would be really fun. And if there's something in here I really like, I think I'm going to go and remake it or redraw it or do something loosely based off of something in here, because I thought that would be a fun way to really showcase how I've grown as an artist. Speaking of artistic growth, that actually ties into the next really important segment of this video, which is that I am actually partnering with Skillshare for this video. Now, I'm sure you already know who Skillshare is. Most artists probably do. A lot of people in general know what Skillshare is, but if you don't, Skillshare is a wonderful online learning resource with classes for basically anything you could ever need. Whether you're wanting to learn a new skill or become better at a skill you already have, Skillshare has a course for literally anything you could ever want to learn. They have classes on art, painting, graphic design, illustration, anything. You can find classes on how to start a small business, how to grow your business, how to start a YouTube channel. Some of my favorite creators like Jazza has classes on there. And in this partnership with Skillshare, we are offering an exclusive offer to anyone who is watching this video for a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. You can sign up using the link in my bio, and if you sign up using that link, I earn a small commission from it. So you're indirectly supporting me in a way, which is really cool, and it doesn't cost you any money to do so. So if you're wanting to learn something brand new, whether you want to learn a new skill, or maybe you just want to get better at something, maybe you want to start a small business, maybe you want to become better at organizing, or maybe you want to do something else entirely that I may not even have considered. Again, the link to 1 full month of free Skillshare courses is in my bio. Thank you so much, Skillshare, for partnering with me for this video. And now we're gonna move into looking through this super old sketchbook. So as I said, this is the sketchbook that we're gonna be looking through today. This one is, I wanna say, at least 5 years old, maybe older, probably older. I genuinely don't remember when I started this, and I don't see anything on the cover specifying a date. So I was gonna look for a date here, but this has my address on it. So I'm covering that up real quick because I didn't realize that was there. So looks like this was 2019 because I have some stickers from the school that I currently attend. But here you can see that there are various sketches for the cover of the sketchbook here because I knew I wanted to paint it. So there's some color swatches right here. There's the sketch for the girl, a bunch of different layouts. Now if I can keep covering this up, let's see here. It's Mafu Mafu. I think I did this around Christmas. Forgot I did this. This is so cute. So Mafu Mafu is a singer who is very, very well known in Japan, and most people probably would know him if they were in a Vocaloid phase at any point in time. Probably for his Roki Roki MV that he did with Sararu. Or the RPG music video, which he did as a part of Soramafu Urasaka. I am a big fan of all of this, so I know exactly what I'm talking about, because I still really like this guy. And these are all of his different avatars across several different MVs. His persona is typically a little white-haired cat boy. So that's what I decided to go for, and it shows basically everything from a lot of different MVs that he's been in. All of them are animated, so they all have a very similar style and appearance. I still think this one is really cute. Like, these two in particular look really cute. I really like these. These ones have the misfortune of being on top of the seam, so I'm not gonna judge these ones too harshly. But I feel like these ones have too long of torsos, if I'm being honest. Like, looking back at this, I'm like, yeah, these are really long legs, the torsos are really long. I feel like I was probably doing that because the heads were so big. I wanted him to match more of the style of the MVs, which typically did have really big heads and definitely a lot skinnier bodies, but that was the style of the animations. And then here it looks like I have some sketches for my Nutcracker series that I was doing when I was doing my Nutcracker portraits. So there's a sketch here for my original version of Russian candy canes. And this looks like this was another version. I think I did this one first, then this one, because this one was the one I ended up doing. And it looks like we're into 2020 at this point because I see a date here, but I know I made these in 2019, so this must have been taped in later, it seems like, and there's a little mermaid here, so I think this must have been Mermaid? Again, I don't remember, so let's see. Okay, yeah, 2019, I was correct. We're doing Inktober. I think this was one of the first times, no, this was the first time where I actually did all of Inktober. I remember I didn't feel super connected to the main Inktober list, so I actually combined someone else's Inktober prompt list with the official prompt list. And that's what I did for my first time doing Inktober. And then there's a third list here. Did I combine 3 things? I think I may have combined 3 words into one drawing. I think that's what I did. I love that I made a page for each prompt list. That's actually really interesting. I think I still have these. I think I still have all of these. Let's see here. And then it looks like these were all my sketches for Inktober 2019. Looks like I had it all labeled based off of what I was doing. So this one was over here, this one here, this one here. How long do the Inktober sketches go for? Okay, 2 pages, 3 pages, 4 pages, 5 pages? Okay, 5 pages of Inktober sketches. It's interesting because I know most of these didn't end up being the final at all. I don't think any of these ended up being what I made, so this entire page never came to fruition. I think out of all of these, this is the only one that made it to the final Inktober pages. This one, it looks like I didn't do much on this page because there was the art here that bled through, but there's some swatches for some markers here. And it looks like on this next page, this is one of my old OCs, like one of my really, really old OCs. So this is my original character for my Rise of the Guardians story that I had been developing for like 7 years. So this is what she looked like back then. I was definitely adding too much detail to the hair back then. Like, I don't add this much realistic detail to my hair nowadays. She's also so skinny. Look at that. She is really, really skinny. I do not draw my characters this skinny anymore, so that's interesting to notice. She also has a really flat face, I'm noticing. I also really struggled with side profile back then, so that doesn't surprise me. I still kind of struggle with side profile today, especially if I'm doing something that has like, if I'm doing a side profile that has like a really strong emotion, I have to have references for that because I have a really hard time drawing mouths from the side. Still do. I did some pen sketches here. Those look really good. I mean, those were just like realistic pen studies, I guess. I mean, yeah, they look good. I probably went, oh, this was for Inktober actually, because I collabed with Cross and Schaefer for Inktober. So this was like a bunch of the different pens that they sent me that I was trying. This was when I started AP Art, because I was in an AP Art class at this time. So this looks like a whole bunch of sketches for this one piece that I made a long time ago for that class, because this was the beginnings of my Mushroom World series, and the actual beginnings was in an old sketchbook that I don't have anymore that's even older than this one. But these were sketches for what my mushroom restaurants would look like. This was the origin story, like the origin story of what came before my little mushroom chef Akaji came around. So I had a whole mood board here of like what it could look like, a bunch of different sketches. This is the one that I ended up going with. But the original illustration I remember I wasn't happy with, mostly because I don't really like how I illustrated it. The style was not not good. Did not like it even back then. I don't even think I have that image anymore. I don't think I have the final illustration at all. This sketch does look cute though, like that looks fine. The original sketch looks totally fine. Over here, this was my My Hero Academia OC. So it's mostly just writing and a bunch of info about her. I was trying to draw in the style of My Hero, I'm pretty sure right here. It doesn't really look like My Hero style though, so I don't know how well I succeeded in that. This was her hero costume. This was just a random pen sketch I did of her. But yeah, I would definitely change this if I went back. I mean, I mostly took inspiration from Uraraka's outfit, and you can really tell in this design. So yeah, I was very into My Hero back then. Technically still am. Looks like this was some more Inktober sketches because I remember for one of the last prompts of Inktober, I split it into 2 drawings. And I have these 2 witch sisters, so this was one witch, this was the other one. There's some random ranking thing here for My Hero Academia. I don't even know what's happening here. Then I have some more sketches for my mushroom world here. This was for a piece that I made of her going into this little jungle area. I have the final painting of that one somewhere. These were some more sketches for the Nutcracker series. So here I have a bunch of different sketches for a bunch of the different characters from that ballet. So Snow Queen, this one is, I want to say Spanish, or no, wait, not Spanish. I have no idea. Is it Russian? I think this must have been my sketch for Russian, like a different sketch for Russian. This one was Spanish, this one was Marzipan, and this one was Arabian. So there was a lot going on here, a lot of different ideas I was playing around with. The main thing here that I noticed though is that I didn't actually include like any of the sweets that they were supposed to be based on, which is something that I switched to doing later on. These 2 are mostly true to sketch. Like the finished versions of these are very close to the original sketch. However, these ones all completely change. Marzipan looks very different than that, Spanish looks very different, and Russian doesn't look like this at all. Let's see, what's next? Even more Nutcracker sketches! So here we have Chinese tea, Dewdrop from Waltz of the Flowers, Sugar Plum, and one of the dolls from Party Scene. Over here, it looks like I'd had some stuff for TikTok that I did here. So these are a bunch of sketches for more Mushroom World stuff. Over here, this was a sketch of all my original characters for when I hit 250,000 on TikTok. So I have my Mushroom Girl here, I have my really old OC, and then a couple of my other little characters that I haven't talked about in a long time because I honestly forgot about them. So for those who don't know, I really like Wreck-It Ralph. Like, Wreck-It Ralph is one of my favorite movies. So these 2 are actually 2 little characters that I made based on the Sugar Rush game. So they're my own little Sugar Rush racer OCs. This one is named Beans, and this one is Choco. She's based off of jelly beans, and she's based off of chocolate, if you couldn't tell. But these were my main 4 OCs at the time, so I had them saying thank you for 250k on TikTok with this little drawing. Here I have a random drawing of an outfit. I don't know what this is, if I'm being honest. Here I have some sketches of Denki Kaminari. Okay. Looks like this was more close to the My Hero art style. Like, this is basically just a 100% copy of the My Hero art style for these 3. I think I was trying to draw him in my art style here. He does not look good in that one, so I don't know what's happening there. I really like this that I did with the sticky notes though. That looks really neat. I really like this. Gives it a lot of really interesting contrast. Like, this is cool. I like this. I should do this more often in my sketchbook. Like, that's just really neat. I like that. Maybe, is this gonna be what I redo in my sketchbook? Putting sticky notes across one of the pages. We have some random pencil sketches. Oh, this was for a commission. This was a tattoo commission that I did. There's my really old OC for Rise of the Guardians again. This is another one. This was my first time playing around with gouache, so this was me trying to understand the medium. I remember I hated it at the time, but now it's one of my favorite materials ever, so that's interesting to see that transition. This was Huevember, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it was. So Huevember is a challenge where you make little drawings with just one color of the color wheel every single day. And I didn't do it like as Huevember, I just did it for fun. So there was this one girl, I think, who was on TikTok at the time. Yeah, it was this one girl on TikTok. She was making all these different outfits with monochromatic color palettes, and I thought that was really neat. So I took a whole bunch of her outfits that she was wearing, and then I drew them in different colors. So all of these are the same girl, just wearing completely different outfits, and that was really fun. I remember I'm pretty sure she actually saw them and she really liked them, so that was really neat. Like, it kind of makes me think of Inside Out, which I really like. Like, this blue one, I actually really like this. This is really pretty. I'd be open to doing something like this again, where I draw a bunch of outfits and each one is like coded for a different color and I make it be rainbow. Like, I like that. That's really neat. But no, this is cute. I like this. This was really fun. And then here I have even more of those, so I decided to go into more of like the metallics and the monochromatics as well. So I have pink, silver, brown, black, gold, because I had a whole bunch of metallic markers and stuff like that. This one is really neat. I love this. Look at this beautiful makeup, the outfit, like, same with the black. Like, this is really cool. I really like this. Okay, maybe this is what I end up doing, because this is really neat. I like this. I was popping off with this. The style itself does not match what I'm doing at all nowadays, but I kind of popped off here. Like, I like this. This is really neat. And then we have some pencil sketches here. This, I believe, was an original sketch for my mushroom girl that I turned into a digital piece. This one's really cute. This is like a peppermint bark princess, definitely inspired by Drawing with Waffles video that she did of a very similar concept. So that's where that came from. I think this is super cute, so I'd be open to reapproaching that. Here I have some more ideas. I think this was like gingerbread. I don't know who this is because I don't see a note anywhere here, so I don't know what candy he was supposed to be, but I'm assuming he's something similar. I have some pastels that I was swatching here. I think this was for a Scrawler box, because I think I was subscribed to Scrawler box at this time. Here I have some sketches of Margot from Klaus, because she's adorable. I love her. The colors here were really nice. I don't know what this blue was, but that's really pretty. And look at that. I did like some really nice shading with this wood texture here. I remember I was having a hard time figuring out how to do her hair, because her hair works in a really interesting way with her hat, so I was trying to figure that out. These are still pretty cute. Like, again, not 100% accurate to my current style, but it's still pretty cute. Even more swatches here. I was buying a lot of art supplies at this time, I guess. Oh, I remember what this is. So I did this little TikTok series at the time where I was drawing outfits based off of people's names. So people would give me their name, and then I would go on Pinterest and I would look up their name plus outfit, or their name plus shirt. And then I would draw the whole outfit that I found based off of what would come up if I searched up their name. Hope you don't mind the tail that is flipping in and out of the camera. Here I have, ooh, this is cute. Ooh, I love this. This is actually adorable. Look at this. Okay, I love these. Dude, I slayed. Look at that. I absolutely popped off with this. These are gorgeous. What? These are actually beautiful. Okay, this was all gouache. I did all of this with gouache. These are beautiful. How was I doing this back in 2020? Ah, these are gorgeous. I guess I was painting gouache landscapes, or at least little tiny sketches of gouache landscapes. Like, these are so pretty. What even? Okay, clearly I need to try doing this again, because this is really pretty and I forgot about it. I'm like, look at this. This is so pretty. Okay, that's so nice. I really love that. That is so beautiful. Okay, I have a lot of ideas for things I want to recreate now. I have a little girl I made with markers here. Here's even more of those outfits that I was making based on people's names. Sketches got a bit bigger, it looks like. Let's see, I have some more pen sketch studies here of just various portraits. This one's cool. I like this makeup that she has here with these stars. There's not much I have to say about this though, because it's just pen studies. Like, this is just not interesting to me. These are cute. Ooh, okay, I remember these. So these were all girls that I drew, where I made their designs be based off of Lindor truffles, because usually around Christmas time I'm always given a bunch of Lindor truffles by my grandparents, and they have a whole bunch of different flavors. So I was actually really interested in the packaging of Lindor truffles as a kid, and packaging in general. I think that should have told me early on that I wanted to be a graphic designer, and I really like packaging design. It's one of my favorite types of design nowadays. It's what I would love to do. So I actually kept all of the Lindor truffle packaging, like all their little wrappers and stuff. I actually kept them, and I created all these characters based off of the Lindor truffles and their packaging. So the idea was the skin tone of the character would be based on the inside of the truffle, and the hair would be based on the outside. So each one of these is based off of different flavors, and then once I figured out what their skin and hair color was going to be, I would make their outfit look like the design of the wrapper. And a bunch of times they'd have these little patterns on them, they'd have stripes, or they'd have like some other color pairing. So there was a lot of intention that went into this. Like, I was very careful with how I was designing these characters, what I wanted them to wear. Like, these are really cute. I really like these. Like, I really like this one and this one. I think these two are gorgeous. I really love these. I love this one a lot too. Like, this color palette is just really pretty. Man, I had so many good ideas before college. College killed me a little bit, I think. Here I have a random OC that I never developed. Here I have some Baby Yoda sketches because Mandalorian came out at the time, so here he is. Just little pen sketches of him. I don't draw Todoroki very often because I don't like his hair. I think his hair is very hard to draw, so at least I thought it was. I don't think it would be difficult for me now, but back then I was like, I don't like this guy's hair, it's hard. Here I have, I think, the last of the outfits that I was doing for that series. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was the last. This one looks like something I would see Sharpay wear. Like, this is very High School Musical coded, this side. So this looks like it was around Valentine's Day, because I think this one, the intention was or on High School Host Club, but with a girl. So I did that, just a little drawing of this girl with a rose. I'm pretty sure I literally based this off of a picture of Tamaki Suo. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where I was going with that. Here's another sketch of Beans, here's Margu again, and then I drew Vanellope because I love her. She's one of my favorite characters. Well, one of my only favorite Disney princesses. I'm not really a Disney princess person, but Vanellope's number one. I think this was like Demon Slayer inspired, maybe? I don't even know what's going on here. I think Demon Slayer came out around this time, so that's probably what this is? I don't even know. Anyway, here I have a bunch of mushroom paintings, and I'm pretty sure if I go to the next page, it's going to be like a rainbow that goes across several pages. Because I'm pretty sure the whole point of this when I was in AP Art was to try something new. And I was still really trying to figure out gouache at that time because I really liked it. Like, I figured out what to do with it at this point, and I was like, I want to play with it more. So that's what I was doing here, and I played around with all the colors. So here we have red and pink, orange and yellow. Then I used, looks like watercolor and pen for the rest of it. So I have some green mushrooms, blue mushrooms, and purple mushrooms. And I'm pretty sure from what I remember, I actually used accurate colors for all of these. So every single one of these is a real mushroom species with their real colors. There's a reason mushrooms are like the main thing for my fantasy world that I've been developing, because I think they're very, very interesting, and there's so many different species and so many cool things about them. So I was like, this was such a cool exploration of what would become my fantasy world. Here I have, it looks like a Neapolitan ice cream themed girl, which is actually pretty cool. I like this. Ooh, okay, this was one of my favorite Scrawler boxes ever because it had this really, really cool gold glitter that I thought was absolutely incredible, and you can see it right here. So they had us working on tone tan paper with a white marker, a black fine liner, and this insanely cool gold glitter. You'd put a glue stick on and then you'd apply the glitter on top. Like, it was really cool. Here I have some more sketches of my Rise of the Guardians OC with another OC from that story. So yeah, here they are. I really wanted to show how different they are. She's super skinny though. Like, why did I draw my character so skinny? I don't like that. But this was a more updated design for my OC, and I really like this. Like, I think this is very cute. I'm still going to redesign her if I ever come back to that story, because right now I'm not working on that story at all. I haven't been working on it for years. So if I ever come back to it, I'm gonna redesign her again, but this was her design that I stuck with for a really long time. Then her design hasn't changed too much over time. Her design has stayed mostly the same, if I'm being honest. Here I have some more My Hero Academia sketches. I did quite a few of the Class 1A members. Let's see, I think these were the kanji symbols for their names. I don't remember at this point, but I did them based off of their colors that they're coated with. Bakugo looks angry as usual. It looks like the white pen that I was using to cover up some stuff has gone yellow over time, so that's not fun. My cat is here again. Hi, Theoden. You can't sit here. I'm filming, buddy. Okay, anyway, here we go. Okay, so it looks like this was an alcohol marker themed scrawler box. This little character who's based off of ice cream, it looks like. Looks like she's a little bit angry. I don't think there's much after that. Some more pen studies that I was doing. I like how I filled out the background with black for this. Like, that has a really cool dramatic effect that I really like. And then I'm not sure what happened here, but you can barely see this girl because she's covered up in alcohol markers. Oh, that's why. Yeah, that would explain a lot. So this was like a galaxy hair girl, but I was like using alcohol ink like directly out of the bottle and then applying it onto the paper and then blending it, which actually that looks really cool. Like this looks really, really cool. Well, if I ever want to make a galaxy, I know how to do it. These were some sketches for Mermaid, it looks like, since I wanted to do Mermaid at the time. These were just some random character studies. So we have Vanellope, the girl from Big Hero 6, another girl from Big Hero 6, Coraline. That actually looks pretty good. Like, that looks good. Kita from Atlantis and Periwinkle from Tinkerbell. Here we have, I think, some more mermaid sketches, it looks like. Just some various mermaids. Here we have a lot of anime guys. I don't know what the connection is here. They're just all anime guys. We have Denki, Ojiro, Sero, Kirishima, Ed, Naruto, Natsu, Sai, Tanjiro, Soma, Yamaguchi, and Zenitsu. I don't know if I was just trying to draw characters with different types of hair or what. I don't know what was going on here, but these don't look that bad. Like these are decent. Like this one of Naruto, that looks pretty good. Sai looks pretty good. Zenitsu actually looks a lot better than I thought he would. Here we have a bunch of oil pastel stuff, so I was playing around with like if I could use a knife to scratch away the pastel so I could give it like white highlights. So that's all I was doing here. Looks like I had some more sketches for a new design for Marzipan right here. I was doing a hair drawing tutorial for TikTok right there, so that's what that was. Here are some other mermaid sketches, just random ones. I don't know what the prompt was here, but they're just some little mermaids, little mermaid girl. Some more mermaid sketches with watercolors, it looks like, that I never actually painted. And then I think this is the end of the sketchbook. Yeah, it is, with a quote from Lord of the Rings, and these were like some preliminary stuff for this, which that actually looks pretty cute. I like that. And it looks like I finished this one in April of 2020, so I probably used it for around 7 months, and then you can tell I was definitely getting a lot of Scrawlrbox stuff at the time because I filled out this entire thing with Scrawlrbox stickers. Like there was a lot in there that I completely forgot about. I think in terms of what I want to recreate, I really like the idea of going back and recreating this, but with just these colors, I think. I don't think I'm going to do any of these. But I think I want to do something similar where I go back and I make an outfit for each color of the rainbow, but different outfits with different girls. I think I want to do that again because that's a really cool idea. I really like this. And I hope you all enjoyed seeing some of my really early stuff. Like, honestly, I'm not that critical of this. Like, this could have looked a lot worse. I could have a lot worse stuff in here, but honestly, this isn't all that terrible. Like, I was actually doing okay back in 2019, 2020. Like, this is not that bad. I'm surprised. I'm surprised I was doing so well back then. So anyway, now we're gonna move on to recreating the sketchbook spread. I decided to not film any of the sketching or the line art for this, specifically just because I feel like it's pretty repetitive at this point, and I feel like if you're watching both the sketching and the line art, you're kind of just seeing the same thing twice, so I decided to skip over that and go straight to the coloring. And I feel like you can pretty much see how my style has changed since then without needing to see the line art process. But before I get into just how much my style has changed since going through this sketchbook, I wanted to go over what I'm actually doing here. So like I said, I am doing the different outfits where each one is a different monochromatic color palette, and it's the entire rainbow, so red all the way through purple. And because I'm a lefty, I always start on the right, so I actually illustrated this purple girl on the right first. And one theme that I decided I really wanted to go for, because I thought it would be a fun way to connect these all together, is to use bugs as a theme. I've been doing a lot of animal illustrations lately of more non-conventional animals. Like when I was younger, I used to do a lot of cats and dogs specifically, but lately I'm more interested in amphibians and reptiles, fish, and bugs. So I thought it would be really interesting to make all of these outfits be themed around different bugs. So the purple girl here is based off of a Luna moth, and so is the green one, because Luna moths have purple and green in them, so I thought green and purple would both work for a Luna moth. The blue girl is based off of a dragonfly, yellow is based off of bees, orange is a monarch butterfly, and red is a ladybug. But I thought this was a really fun way to connect them all together and let me have some other theme to help me influence the creation of these outfits, since I kind of was going in without an overall theme at first other than color. For the original sketchbook spread that I did in the old sketchbook, I was just looking at another girl's outfits. For this one, I was coming up with them all by myself, and I think I did a pretty good job with it, having basically nothing but bugs to go off of. As for how my style has changed, there's a lot that you can notice in terms of differences. The biggest thing is definitely hair for me. One of the things I tended to do with my older style was I like to use the line art to like give lines to like every single bit of the hair. Like I would be very, very detailed with the hair. I would make there be lines going throughout every single piece of it. And that was just so time consuming, and I stopped liking the look of it after a while, so I stopped doing it. And nowadays the hair that I do is a lot more chunky, and it doesn't have anywhere near as much detail to it as the old style did, which I honestly prefer. I like it this way, this new way. I think it feels a lot more lively and it has a lot more shape to it this way. I feel like it's just a lot more freeing than the other style was, so I definitely think that's better. You'll also notice there's a bit more emphasis on line art with this one, so something that I've developed with my style over time is using more dramatic line work. Specifically, I like using a brush pen, so that way I can thicken up the edges of the left side of my pieces. I think I just chose the left side because I'm a lefty, but I like to make the left side of anything that I'm drawing have a lot more thick line art to it. I think it just gives it a nice little extra touch that's unique specifically to me, and I think it makes all the pieces really pop, whether it's me just painting a character like this or if I'm doing like an object or anything like that. Another thing you'll notice is that I'm using watercolors for this, specifically watercolor markers mostly, and that's just because I want to be able to use more of the pages, and when I use alcohol markers I tend to bleed through the pages and I can't use them unless I cover them up. So I've been trying to use more water-based markers and watercolor paints, so that way I'm not bleeding through the paper all the time. I have a lot of stuff that I want to do in this sketchbook even though I don't have a lot of pages left, so I'm trying to revert to using more page-friendly materials. So I try to not use alcohol markers unless I don't have a color available for them, or if I don't care about not being able to use the page underneath, which sometimes I don't, sometimes I genuinely don't care, but I want to do more on these pages, so I decided to use watercolors so I wouldn't have anything bleed through. There's some other little tweaks here and there to my style, like I don't have the eyes anywhere near as far apart anymore. The eyes are a lot bigger. I have a lot more variety in nose shapes. You can see I use the nose bridge a lot more in my characters. That was something I didn't do a lot of when I was younger. I didn't really include the nose bridge, but that's something I don't really think I can draw without anymore. Like the nose bridge is kind of just essential to my style at this point, unless I'm doing my chibi style, which I'm not doing here. Overall, not too much has changed though. You can still tell it's mostly the same artist who's working on these two pieces. There's still enough similarities here that I feel like you'd be able to tell that it's still me, just older. But yeah, I had a very fun time with this sketchbook spread. I had a fun time working with my watercolor markers again. It's been a while since I picked those up. And of course, working with bugs as the inspiration for this was pretty fun too. That was a fun way to challenge myself and give myself some ideas for these outfits. This wasn't too detail oriented. I was trying to be pretty loose and messy with this. I didn't want it to be perfect or anything. It's just a sketchbook piece. It's not a finished piece in any sort of way. So if I messed up in some place or if it looks a little bit muddy, I honestly am not super upset about that. Again, it's a sketchbook piece. It's not supposed to be super, super fancy. And then of course I'm using my white fine liner to go in and add some white highlights. I ran out of my white Signo pen a while ago and I just haven't bought new ones. So I've been using my white uni ball pens instead, which are nowhere near as good as a white Signo. Like they're nowhere near as opaque and they don't like to stay opaque, especially on top of watercolor materials or any water-based materials, but it got the job done. I'll get a new Signo eventually. They're just really expensive. But for now, this is what the finished sketchbook spread looks like with all these girls with their different colored outfits themed after different insects, so I think it looks really cute. This one was a really fun challenge. It was fun to go back and look through my old sketchbook and find something to recreate, especially after not looking back at it for so long. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, don't forget that there is a link for a month free trial of Skillshare in my bio, so feel free to use that if you want to have access to a bunch of different courses where you can learn literally anything you want. Again, thank you Skillshare for being a partner for this video. It means a lot to me. I can't give you guys any hints on what my next video is going to be, mostly because I don't have it planned out yet, but whenever I do figure out what I want to do next, you'll see it here. For now, you can find me on any of the social medias that I've mentioned before: TikTok, Instagram, Tumblr, sometimes on Threads, obviously here on YouTube, and of course you can always check out my Etsy shop. I have a bunch of new stuff up on there. You can go find all of my new My Hero Academia stickers. Shinso and Sero are the two newest characters who I have up there, so if you're interested in some fun My Hero stickers, I recommend checking out my shop, of course. That's all for now though, so I hope you enjoyed this little walk through my old sketchbook and then me going through and recreating this whole sketchbook spread with all these new characters, these new outfits, and going over how my style has changed since then. That's all for now, so I'll see you whenever I happen to see you.